Good morning, everybody. How to stay locked in on your goals and your self-confidence when everyone else is losing their mind. It's Grant Sparks with the Grant Sparks Show. This is episode 344, and we're here to talk about confidence. We're here to talk about confidence, and it's not a personality trait. It's not charisma. It's a practice. And we have a framework for that practice so that you can build the confidence you need. Today, we're talking about how to build internal confidence that outlasts external pressure. You know, there's a lot going on out there. And you know, a lot of people are wringing their hands, they're freaking out. I have my own system. It's a feedback loop I use to make sure I build up my confidence and maintain my confidence. And it comes from the inside. And I'm telling you, I'm meeting a lot of people. I ask people everywhere, what's your goal? What are you passionate about? Not what are you working on, but what's your passion? And then we talk about maybe they're working on it, maybe they're not. But I cannot tell you how many people lack confidence when they answer. Now, sometimes it's okay to say, I don't know. But have you ever met someone who says, I don't know, confidently? Hey, what are you working on? I don't know right now, but I'm working on it. There's confidence there. It's not about always knowing the answer. Whereas there's a lot of people that when you ask, what's your goal? They're going, I don't know. And they lack confidence in the answer, which means they lack self-confidence. It's not that they are not exuding. It's not that they don't have confidence in what they're doing. They just don't present with confidence. And I think this is a societal problem because everyone around you is trying to gain equilibrium. We're trying to decide what we're going to do. And if we're surrounded by people that are lacking self-confidence, I believe it low-key messes with the fabric of certainty that we're all trying to build as we build a life. More importantly, I believe you're not getting the outcome that you want out of life, not just because you don't have goals, maybe you have some goals, but because you do not have the confidence of yourself. You don't have the self-confidence in your goals to act on it. I believe that a bigger problem plaguing our society is not that people don't have goals. They probably have too many goals. But what they don't have is a deep-seated commitment that comes from inside that helps them attach to a goal and knock away all the distractions regardless of the outcome. They distract themselves and diffuse their energy and their goals to death. And therefore, they have no internal commitment. You've met these people. They're wishy-washy. Most people are on the fence, if you will, about everything. And if you felt kind of diffused, if you felt drifting, stay tuned today because we're going to show you how to lock in. And I'm going to give you my personal little system I do to make sure that I have this feedback loop. And I'm spinning my finger like this because it's this little feedback loop that feeds itself to build the confidence necessary. And I'm going to share vulnerably with you where I have massively dropped the ball here. And I have to be honest with myself. You have to courageously be honest with yourself in order to develop yourself. I don't mean be hard on yourself, though a lot of us word it that way. A lot of us are pretty hard on ourselves as it comes to our goals and achieving more. I'm talking about being clearly honest with yourself and go, oh man, I've missed the mark and I really need to fight to pull things together. So that's what we're going to be covering today. But before we do anything, morning cup of gratitude. What are you grateful for today? What got you out of bed? What excites you? Oh, I'm out here making money. That's cool. Is that the thing that excites you? Oh, I'm out here building my empire. Great. Does that really excite you? Is that the thing? What are you grateful for? I'm grateful for several things. Number one, I'm grateful for the people that keep showing up for their development, even when the world is loud and distracted and literally crazy. The older I get, the crazier all this is. And it's not just what's currently going on in America and the world. It's just the longer you go, the more you realize, man, more people are cuckoo. People are struggling. But in spite of that, it's up to people like us to anchor the world, anchor ourselves, and help be an anchor for our people. And by anchor, I don't mean a weight that's tying us down. I mean that helps people prevent from drifting in a storm. That's what we do when we exude self-confidence. In fact, I believe more than economic development, more than economics, entrepreneurs help ground people in society who start to get pulled left and right and blown about by the winds of society as we create certainty for other people, confidence. So I'm grateful for the people that keep showing up. I'm also grateful for my fitness routines. I'm grateful for my routines. I'm grateful for my team, Nicole, Marissa, Amber, John, these people who have shown up in my life in spite of my own crazy. because I'm not saying self-confident people don't have a dose of the crazy. I'm saying self-confident people create certainty that other people can latch onto and make deep-seated commitments about what they're going to do for tomorrow. Listen, if you are building from the inside out and you want clarity that cuts through the noise, share this with someone who you feel needs clarity on their self-confidence today. Take a minute. I see you on Facebook. I see you on Twitch. I see you on YouTube, on Instagram. Listen, share this. Please do me a favor, do them a favor. Share it today. Just tag them or something. Someone who needs to work on their self-confidence in kindness and love, but they can build it up super strong. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Let me give you a quick backdrop to this. There's a powerful article from the APA, the American Psychology Association, that I found this morning researching this, because this has been bothering me. Because as I talk to more people, I've been asking people for literally 25 years, when I go to coffee, when I go to the grocery store, what's your dream? What's your goal? And in different seasons, depending on what's going on in the headlines, you get a lot of confidence or a lot of lack of confidence. A lot of them become self-confidence, and then a lot of them have a lot of self-doubt. Right now, most people in the last, I want to say 6 months, maybe 9 months, people have exuded a lot of self-doubt. When I ask them, what are your goals and what are your dreams? They waver, and they don't even say, I don't know, confidently. I'm talking about the inflection in their voice that lets me know that they don't believe in themselves on anything. When they go, I don't know. Basically they're saying, I don't have dreams. I don't have goals. Someone can answer, and I said this earlier, you know what? I don't know, but I'm working on it. They have a self-concept. They have self-trust. They have self-confidence. That's great, but it's rare. So this is starting to bother me. So I started researching it a little this morning. And I found a study by the American Psychology Association that said this. And I'll drop the link here in the comments so that wherever you're following, you can actually get this in the comments and look this up yourself. And the study, the net result was this. The more your confidence is based on external stimuli, how the market's doing, how much money you have in the bank, how fit or not fit you are, how hot you or your girlfriend or your boyfriend is, how well your business is doing, any of that. If your self-confidence or your self-concept is attached to that, you are more likely, nearly certain, to lose self-confidence more quickly than those who have an internal set of stimuli. Now, I'm going to drop this link and you can look this up later. The researcher was Albert Bandura. It was self-efficacy theory. And self-efficacy is this. It's the belief in one's own ability to succeed. And a lot of us attach our belief in our ability to succeed based on external stimuli. I was born poor. I was born to the wrong gender or the wrong race in the wrong country. Those things are very difficult. I don't want to trivialize it. I'm talking about self-confidence, not opportunity, right? So I'm talking about self-confidence. I just heard a guy talk about sales, and his dad was a 20-year salesman and had made millions of dollars in sales. And he was a young man and didn't want to be poor, and his dad wasn't giving him anything. And he said, well, can I go work for sales? He said, sure. So they did a ride along, and he asked his dad, what's the secret to sales? Is it the rebuttals? Is it the objections? Is it, answering their objections before they ask? And his dad said, no, it's self-confidence. And he said, what do you mean? He said, if you can find something to be excited about, if you can find something to lift your spirits. And as this young man listened to his dad, who had trained hundreds of other sales agents, himself had made millions of dollars, this young man started to observe that as sales agents, the good ones who were making money would drive up to a house, they'd have their music blaring. They would just be pumping themselves up. As they walked to the front door, they'd either have some form of self-talk or sing a song to themselves. They were in control, whether conscious or unconscious. They were in control of their state of confidence. Even if in the car they expressed doubt, they could change that state. And the sales guy said, you will make more money than any of my other sales agents if you can just exude self-confidence that comes from within. So this came from Albert Bandura's self-efficacy theory. And this theory is simply this. If you attach your self-confidence to internal factors, not external factors, then you will have a longer resilience in your self-confidence to do the next thing you're trying to do. It's basically a mastery of experiences. And let me just drop these two separate links here because they both refer to this article. I'm going to drop them in the comments. And if you're watching on Instagram, sorry, I'll have to drop it there later. I'm dropping this on every other platform. Let's drop this here and here. Here's the importance. This is what the research found. This is powerful. You can work on your own self-confidence directly. I'm going to be confident. I'm trying to ask that girl out. I'm trying to start that business. I'm trying to move to a surf village, and I need the confidence to make the changes necessary. So how am I going to work on confidence? Self-talk's important. Writing your goals down is super important. Hyping yourself, super important. But you know what had the biggest impact in the research? Get this. The thing that made the biggest impact was not working on confidence, but removing distractions. What? Hear me on this. If you are trying to make a massive change in your life, the change can be worked on directly. The confidence you need to make those powerful decisions can happen. But the research showed, and again, if you're on Instagram, go jump over to YouTube or one of the other platforms because I drop links to these research articles, or just stick with me and you can read it later. But the research said this: you can hack self-confidence by simply removing distractions. Now, here's the thing. It's not like, say, for example, you want to ask that partner out, that girl or that guy. You want to build that new business. You want to move to a surf village. You want to start a new fitness routine. It wasn't the fact that you needed to remove the voices that were naysayers. That's not the point. It wasn't like you needed to remove the voices that were saying, don't ask them out because you're ugly, or you didn't need to remove the voices that said, don't move to that surf village, build security. It's not that you needed to remove those voices. It's that you needed to remove things out that were taking up any bandwidth as distractions, period. Let's say you want to start a new business, and that new business was coaching and speaking, which is what we're doing right now. But I saw a new business that was setting up lotto machines, Bitcoin machines in gas stations. It's not a bad business plan. It's like dumb money, right? I should be able to do that, right? I should absolutely do that. Except it's distracting. And it could be a good plan. And now I've got to go work up confidence for that new plan, right? But I've also diffused my energy and my focus and my confidence for the first plan. And it wasn't even taking away, it wasn't even naysaying the goal. It was just the other idea. It's basically overwhelm of too many options. Sparrowhawk, my guy Ryan says, you can't give two shits about what other people think. Just full send it. And if anyone lives this more than anyone I personally know, and this is not blowing smoke up your butt there, Ryan. If anyone does this more than anyone I know, it's Ryan and Marissa. These two people do this better than anyone I know. They cut out all the noise and they focus in on the thing they're doing until they either have the self-confidence, the tools, or just the get them done attitude to go do that thing. And I have a lot to learn from these two people in my life. So this research, self-efficacy theory, says, yes, you can work directly on confidence. What are the how-tos of how to build that business? What are the ins and outs? What should I study? Yes, you should do all of that. But if you're looking for confidence, the first thing you should do is cut out distractions. Ryan says over on Instagram, cocky and confident are very different. And you're absolutely right. And sometimes I know Ryan well enough, and he knows me well enough, I think. Sometimes we wing it with cockiness. Sometimes we do, for sure. If we got to bridge ourselves to get a few wins under our belt, but we know that confidence lasts longer and stronger. That's the research. So what's the translation of this research? Less noise of any kind. It's not just getting rid of the naysayers. It's literally getting rid of all distractions. And Ryan confirms my theory big time. We do rely on cockiness to get us through sometimes. And sometimes we're cringe-worthy, man. I'm telling you. But that's what gets us out there. And then we build some wins under our belt. And then we start moving confidently in a direction because now we develop confidence. We have to jumpstart confidence sometimes. So the translation of the research: less noise equals more ownership of your inner thoughts. Less external noise means more ownership, more commitment on your internal voice, which creates stronger confidence. And if I could simmer down lack of confidence to one thing: you don't hear your inner voice. You don't know your own voice. You don't know if you should do A, B, or C. You're unsure. This is all lack of self-confidence because there are too many voices kicking around your head, and it was unintentional. You didn't mean to. I believe in the fire hose of the internet. You know it. Ryan knows it. Marissa knows it. Nicole Ray knows it. Everyone knows that I believe in the fire hose of the internet, but I believe Most people do not have the filter to sit down with their inner voice, their still small voice, their intuition. Confidence as intuition. They're not in touch with it, so therefore they lack confidence. How do you hack that? Turn down the noise, cut off the voices, sit with it, and develop the self-confidence you need. Even just sitting with your inner voice develops confidence based on this research. So real quick, what's the 3C solution? So I could go on and on. You've seen this out there. People who struggle with confidence, they're not weak. Their net result is that they have a weakened commitment level. The results are weak. They themselves aren't intrinsically weak. They're just diffused. They've outsourced their self-confidence to other results, external reactions, external relevance, that sort of thing. And what's worse is, like, we look for that bump of confidence. We start to get into the comments and maybe someone lifts us up. Maybe someone hypes us up. And what we're hoping for is that we can scrape enough confidence off the digisphere to feed ourselves for a hit. And maybe we'll get confidence to go do something big, but it only lasts until the next scroll. We disregard this as like a dopamine hit, and it is. And dopamine is necessary for self-confidence. But I cannot tell you the level of self-confidence that comes from meditation. From, in Marissa's case, long hikes in the woods, learning how to build a fire in a rainy storm, learning how to take care of your business and generate income, learning how to talk to anyone so that you can get what you need and you can give what they need, learning how to pick up and move anywhere. This comes from so many other places, and that confidence builds. So we know that. So here's what we're going to do. Let me give you the 3 C's. This is my feedback loop. This is what Ryan Sparrowhawk says, screwing things up. They screw things up when they lack confidence, when they lack the confidence to ask the question, lack the confidence to experiment, screwing things up. Here we go. 3 C's. Number 1, absolute clarity. Cut the static, define your target. Hear me on this. Cut the static, define your target, get radical clarity. Define one major priority each week. I'm a big person that every day you got to have your top 5 items that you're going to knock out. But you got to have one clear priority, and it might break down to daily tasks. I don't know. But you need one clear priority each week that you know you're after. Starting on Sunday night, if not Monday, if not the previous Friday afternoon. Write it down and know why it matters. Right now, we're working on the quick start guide to marketing. We know why it matters. It's our top priority to get it published and in our hands as a premium giveaway that we're going to start giving to our clients. Why? Because we keep repeating ourselves on these items. It serves the marketing needs. I know why this thing matters. It's a top priority. Now I have other personal priorities in there, but I would say that that is my top, and I know why it matters. And now I got to strip out the noise, simplify the goal. And this is what we did. We were writing an entire book. Right now, that book is 200 pages of your marketing guide for small business owners. It's literally called the No Bullshit Marketing Guide for Small Business Owners, because we see so much BS in the space. And we ourselves have even toyed with and experimented with some of that BS. And we're like, okay, there's a lot of BS. We were writing this book. It was too thick. We cut out the noise and extracted the first chapter and expanded on it. And now we've simplified the goal. It's the quick start guide. That's what we're doing. We'll still write the other book. It's a longer story arc. We got to get this thing going. So here's the action for you to get clarity. Unfollow 3 distracting voices today. They might be good voices. They might not be politics and distracting and goofiness. They might not even be naysayers. But go look through your feed. Am I following 1,000 people? I can get rid of 3 that are talking about anything else. Oh, I have a fantasy to live in a castle in Scotland. That's a great fantasy. Is it really directly in line with your goals? No. Go follow them back later. Unfollow them right now. Is it your competitors? Oh, I'm researching the competitors. Let me tell you something. Follow them for a week, research them, unfollow them. Get rid of the distraction, because you need to become a freight train of activity. And if you aren't confident and don't have the self-confidence of the clarity of your goal, and remember from the research before, you lose clarity with every new voice, and that voice does not have to be a naysayer. So for today, the action, unfollow 3 distracting voices. I love fancy hotels. Is it directly? And I mean directly. By directly, I mean you're acting on it this week. Is it directly in line with your goals? No, unfollow. So there's fitness people in my feed that could be a little distracting. I need to filter them out. But am I working on it this week? Yes. You know what I'm doing with my fitness and health. I'm working hard at it. It's directly in line. I work on it 5-6 days a week. So unfollow 3 distracting voices today. Replace them with your own written goal. Post it on your phone, on your computer, on the backdrop on your phone. Make it so that every day Google sends a reminder to you that says this is your goal. Just before, develop the habit. If there's an app on your phone for social media that you seem addicted to, put a little text file right above it. This is my goal, so that when you go to click it, you see that other goal. Make sure that you put speed bumps to distractions in your life so that you can focus on your goal. That's number 1, clarity. Clarity, and once you get clarity, and I think clarity is where most of the society, most of the young people I ask, what's your goal? Most of them lack clarity. They don't know. But once you have clarity, now you need commitment. And so few people have radical commitment. And I mean radical commitment, meaning I'll stay up late, meaning I'll change my schedule, meaning I'll cancel these appointments, meaning, man, I forgot to eat. I really should eat. Whatever the goal is, you need a deep level of commitment because people can feel it. People can feel your level of commitment. When you walk in a room and say, I'm doing X, and you can have a quiet, you don't have to be loud like me. Marissa, I have a huge respect for Marissa because when she walks in a room and someone asks her her goal, she's quiet, but they know she's committed. I just happen to be loud and committed, right? But commitment needs to be felt at a deep level. Here's how you build commitment. Now that you have clarity, make one small promise and keep it. This is straight out of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The ability, it's habit 1, make and keep commitments to yourself. If you cannot make and keep commitments to yourself, I'm going to fix that one vent in my room. I'm going to fix that one photo frame that broke. I'm going to go take care of that one little thing. You build up a history of not sticking to your commitments to yourself, you will slowly either not commit to other people or not stick to your commitments to other people. I am embarrassed to admit, this is my authentic embarrassment. I have gone so deep with the changes that I am intentionally making in my life that I now have a bunch of commitments that I've slacked on, that I need to go back on and be a buffalo in a china shop, exude confidence, rally them, get them on the phone. Even though they're not picking up the phone, I need to make them pick up the phone. I need to build many small commitments, small successes, and that builds up confidence that I make and keep promises to myself. The world is full of people who either don't make any promises because they know they won't keep them, or they make promises and don't keep them. I owe Ryan's watching right now. I owe Ryan a response to several things. I haven't kept my commitments, and I hate it. I've been overwhelmed. I have good reasons, good justifications for why not. But it's bullshit if I can't make and keep commitments to myself. I have to be able to make and keep commitments to people like Ryan, who are good people, who just ask a question and I need to follow through on it. So here's one thing you can do today in your commitment. First, you got to get clarity. What is the type of person you're trying to be? What is the goal you're trying to be? Once you have that clarity and have written it down and have set that clarity for this week, this very week, now make and keep one promise to yourself and start restacking small commitments to yourself. And when you build a stack of commitments that you have fulfilled, I made these commitments and promises and I'm going to follow through with them. Even if I'm late, I need to apologize because it's not the character I'm trying to be. Once you do that, don't delay. Once you identify the thing, do not delay. Fix it immediately. This is a character issue that we don't teach on character anymore. This is a leadership issue. As soon as you have conscious awareness, we're overwhelmed. We don't generally have conscious awareness of where we're letting people down. But as soon as you have conscious awareness of where you're letting people down, apologize immediately. I've met a lot of people on the machismo train, a lot of people on, I'm a woman in business and I shouldn't apologize. I shouldn't make apologies. I'm a man in business and I don't apologize for anything. Listen, bullshit. Apologize with confidence. Listen, I'm sorry. I let myself get behind on this commitment. I shouldn't have made the commitment as hastily as I should have because I'm overwhelmed. I don't have a good reason. I have a lot of good reasons, but I can't stand on those. I'm just sorry for not fulfilling my commitment. Let me fix it right now. As soon as you have those awarenesses, act on them. So here's what you can do. Choose one 10-minute action today. Maybe it's filing your taxes. Maybe it's following up with that person. Maybe it's asking that girl out. Maybe it's asking that guy out. Maybe it's actually starting that business. Go ahead, create the LLC. It takes 10 minutes to create an LLC. Open up the bank account. File your payroll. What are you slacking on? I've got an infinite list the length of my arm of stuff that I am just up to my eyeballs in commitments that I need to catch up on. I've got good reasons why I'm not there. Doesn't matter. I still got to do it. Pick one of them. 10 minutes. Do it. Sparrowhawk, Ryan says, someone else has the same list. Put it in your brain that someone is always working harder than you at that moment. And this is a great reminder. Oof. And Ryan's talking about, I believe, mostly competition around small business. I don't believe most small business owners are competing with one another personally. I do know a handful that are very competitive. But what they are doing is they're outworking you. Most small business owners have the same list you have. And this is, I can't take credit for this. This is full-blown Ryan Christ of Sparrowhawk, of TC's Mobile Detailing. Powerful guy. Someone else has the same list as you. I'm going to buy that property. I'm going to start that entity. I'm going to talk to that investor. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it. That same person has that same list, and they're going to finish that list today. And you're not. And they're not only a day ahead, they're a full list ahead. They're self-confidence ahead. They might have gotten no's from that investor. There's someone that wants to ask that girl out, put their attire together, start shaving, start acting like a grown-ass adult male, and actually take boldness and ask someone out and get on the apps. There's someone that has that list to start dating and build up confidence. And that person's going to finish that list today, and you're not. Now, I'm not big on competition myself. Competition doesn't really motivate me. It demotivates me. I have a competitive component of my brain. It demotivates me. Billy Weigel says, good morning. Your hair's looking on point. Easy on the eyes this morning. White tea appreciation. Love you, Billy Weigel. There's another guy that I owe a commitment to that I haven't followed through, and that's just getting on the phone with him, making time for him. Months and months old. Commitment. I am ashamed to and embarrassed to admit I've got a list an arm long of failed commitments. I got a list of stuff I followed through on, and I'm happy about that. Clarity, commitment, follow through. The third is this. Once you've picked your task and you haven't delayed and you've taken 10 minutes and knocked that list out, the final thing is calibrating yourself. Measure yourself with compassion, but adjust yourself with courage. For me to say out loud in the public eye and admit, in fact, to the very people I owe things to, among others, that I haven't met up with my commitments, that's adjusting myself with courage. I have to adjust myself. I have to admit my failings. Because the first thing that people do is they fail commitments. We all do. But the second thing is they deny it. They operate in shame or they deny it. And therefore, they're not trustworthy, not only because they don't fulfill commitments, but now they're additionally not trustworthy because they don't have a grasp on reality. They're not in agreement. They haven't admitted their flaw. Therefore, they have no potential to fix it. If you can get clarity, which a lot of people lack, and you can get commitment, which a lot of people lack, internally driven commitment to the character who fulfills their commitments, then you can calibrate yourself. And listen, don't shame yourself. I do not believe in shaming yourself, berating yourself, talking negative self-talk. I do believe you can coach yourself. By that, I mean what worked, what felt right, what felt like me. I feel most myself when I fulfill my commitments. I feel most confident when I fulfill my commitments. I feel most myself when I paint, when I surf, when I train, when I coach, and when I write, when I work out, when I make love. I feel most myself when I'm doing this list of things. And the distraction is out there I'm interested in, I would even dabble with, but I don't feel most myself. I love building earthships. I built earthships many moons ago, over a decade ago. And the idea of living in an earthship is very appealing to me. So I have this in my feeds, but I'm dabbling. I'm less than dabbling. And honestly, it's a distraction. So I need to courageously cut it away. It doesn't feel like me. So ask yourself, coach yourself, what feels like me? And could I have done better? I could have done better. Don't have the negative self-talk. You piece of junk. Why didn't you do it? Don't have that negative self-talk. But you can have positive self-talk that encourages you to be better. I could have been better. I could have responded more quickly and in the moment. What feels like me? I'm going to do things that feel like me from now on, right? And I'm going to try to stick to that commitment. So here's the action. Put this on your calendar right now. Open up your calendar. I don't care where you're at. If you're watching this later, open up your calendar. Put this on Friday. On Friday, as you wrap up the day, ask yourself this questions. What are 3 wins I have? And what's 1 insight I could do better? You're going to build self-confidence. I'm telling you, self-confidence comes from a history and this feedback loop of radical clarity on what you want to do, so that when someone says, hey, check out this feed. No, I don't even want to look at the feed. I'm sorry. I just don't want to get distracted right now. I'm easily prone to distraction. I want to stay focused. And therefore, commitment. I'm going to commit today to work through this list and knock these things out. And if you end the day and don't do that, you're building a degree of lack of self-confidence, self-doubt. I make lists and I don't complete them. Don't have that. Build your list of top 5 things today. Knock them out. Put your top priority for the week and work diligently on that thing. First thing, move it forward. And you'll see this confidence of, I actually keep my word. I actually do what I say I'm going to do. And it doesn't always have fun consequences, but I do it. And I can endure it. I'm going to live. And then calibrate yourself. Measure yourself with compassion. Did I do it or not? I don't think I did it. Then adjust yourself with courage. I've got to be better. I'm going to be better. I'm going to be better. I'm going to be more focused. I'm going to be more committed. I can do this. Why? Because I'm confident. And that's where confidence comes from. I'm telling you, you keep a record of your successes. And I can't pull up my phone because it's going live on Instagram right now, but I'd show you my dream board, my goal list. My goal list not only has my goals, but before my goals is there, before it lists my goals, before my dream machine lists my goals, it lists my past successes in different areas, in travel, in adventure, in fitness, in relationships. It lists, and I read these before I read my new goals. I read my past successes first. If you keep track of your successes, you will see your identity change into a confident person. Doesn't have to be loud like me unless that's your goal. I have a goal of being loud and louder. I'm not joking. I have a goal of being more loud, being more seen, being more authentic, more intense. That's my goal. That's not everyone's goal. Marissa's goal is a life of peace. She just met a new friend and they're hiking. They live, he lives a life of peace. He's on the water all the time. He's fishing. It's a life of peace. And I want to do those things. Those sound super fun to do, but not because I'm pursuing a life of peace. I'm looking to make an impact. Now, maybe I need to add peace to my life, whatever, but measuring your successes and looking back over those successes and reviewing those successes can build the self-confidence you need. It doesn't have to be loud. It can be very calm successes. Listen, your confidence is not something you're going to find in the news, in the comment section, in the headlines. You might not even find it in books. The path to confidence you can find in a book, just like a map, but you have to walk it. Today's framework of clarity, radical clarity that comes from inside, that inspires you. You know it's real clarity when it inspires you. The type of clarity to commitment. Once you have clarity, it's easier to commit to a thing because it comes from inside of you. The commitment comes easy. I will stiff arm and push away every distraction I can because I have clarity. So that commitment comes from the clarity. And the commitment is a commitment to action. And then calibrating yourself and adjusting yourself and improving yourself and reflecting and writing in a journal and keeping track of your successes and your failures so that you learn from them. This framework is a path, but just knowing this framework won't give you confidence either. You have to walk it. You have to walk out the thing you committed to. Your goals. You said, I'm going to be in fitness, and you haven't been in the gym in a month and a half? Bullshit. You say you're trying to move. Have you started putting your house in order? You say you're trying to ask someone out. Have you put your fitness and health in your dress and your attire and your confidence? And you started building yourself by talking to strangers before you start talking to that person you want to ask out? Have you started walking it out? If not, then start today. Start today, because you often hear me say, if you've seen any of my shows, the world needs what you have. And you might think, well, I don't have much. I mean, he's talking about like people trying to build empires. He's talking about people trying to build big businesses. He's talking about people trying to be infopreneurs or influencers or leaders or public speakers or the next, Bill Gates or Elon Musk. Or no, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about Eli Chinchilla, who paid for her way to go for her own darn hike. And I think it was out in Zion. I don't know if she took herself or went with friends, but she just took herself out there. She's making an impact. I'm talking about Marissa, who hiked the Colorado Trail alone. She's making an impact and inspires me to this day. People need what you have to give, what you have to inspire them with, and you can inspire them by you living your authentic self. Are you an artist? Then paint, please, for the love of God. I want to see your library of past work because it inspires me. Do you love to fish? Send me your reels, and I mean your Instagram reels of you committing to that thing and getting better and better, because I don't just care about the fishing, I care about the excellence. The Greeks called it the pursuit of arete, the excellent moment that you commit to something. We have a society of people that have every reason. I'm talking about in the West and in developed countries, and I'm including America, but it's not exclusive to America. We have been and built the best technology, the best infrastructure, the best architecture. We have given ourselves the ability to pursue with great fervor our passions and dreams, and we give it away to our automaton living. And I am speaking to myself right here. Routines that are less than what we're capable of. Society is starting to shake when it has built the best that history has seen to that point. We've seen this in the Babylonian Empire. We've seen this in the Ottoman Empire. We've seen this with the Greeks. They hit this level and they produce such good, rich things. And then when you start looking at the average person, they waver in their self-confidence, because self-confidence is the thing that they need to take action for their great work, their opus. Whether that's business, whether that's building a family, whether that's living to that fishing village, whether that's living your authentic self and planting a garden and making a rich garden for the rest of your life, whether it's like the man in India who planted a tree a day and the trees bear fruit to trees, and in 40 small years, he's got thousands of trees that he didn't even plant, but he did plant those 40 years of trees. What is your opus? What is your work? The initial light to that fire is self-confidence. And we keep doing anything but cultivating it. So today, follow the 3 C's, go back and watch it, get radical clarity. And you do that not by working on clarity, but by cutting out distractions. Get rid of 3, 8, 9, 12 distracting voices. And distractions could be good things. Distractions, hear me on this. I'm not just talking about the obvious distractions of the naysayers. I'm talking about the unobvious, the obscure distractions of good things. And narrow your scope. And then set one major priority for this week. Commitment. Commit to one small practice, because we have failed at so many commitments. Pick one commitment that takes you 10 minutes or less and right that ship. And then do the next one. And then do the next one. And build a body of work that is you fulfilling your commitments to yourself and to others. As small as the chore you said you were going to do, as big as calling that investor and pitching yourself, whatever it is, they are the same calories. Go do them. And then the third thing, calibrate yourself. Listen, if you want to build unshakable confidence, if you need clarity in your business or your mission, if you need to cultivate the confidence for your goals and you need help and accountability, reach out. We're building a mastermind around people trying to do big things. We're building our mastermind about people who are trying to achieve their goals, live healthier and more fit, have robust relationships, have deep spirituality through the work at hand. We're looking for these people. We're building this mastermind. It's going to be a virtual mastermind. Reach out. But no matter what you do today, I need you to recite the mission. Remember the mission. What is it? igniting lives of explosive significance, starting with your own. Have a great day.